All right, in this video, we're going to finish off the problem-solving process that we started in the last video. We're going to look at how we solve problems with equations in one variable. After we've written an equation for a word-based scenario, the rest of the process is actually pretty simple. All we're going to do is we're going to take the equation that we've written, and we're going to solve it. And once we've solved it, we're going to make sure we answer the question that's posed in the problem. And so we're going to look at the exact same 4 problems from the last video in this video. And instead of taking all the time to recreate the equations, I'm just going to pull the equations that we wrote from that video, and then we will finish the process here. Now, when you're actually problem solving, you do have to go through that step of writing the equations first before you can follow through with these last 2 steps that we look at today. Okay. First problem. 4 friends share the cost of a pizza. The base price of the pizza is P, and the extra toppings cost $3.50. If each person's share was $4.85, find the base price of the pizza. So we had the equation $4.85 is equal to 1/4 times the quantity P plus $3.50. And I have 2 options here. I can distribute the 1/4 through the parentheses and then go from there. Or I could clear the fraction out by just multiplying both sides by 4. And that's what I'm going to choose to do. I'm going to take both sides of this equation and multiply it by 4. So 4 times 485 and 4 times 1/4 times the quantity P plus 350. Now when we multiply this 4 and this 1/4, they are going to go ahead and cancel each other out. And that's going to leave us with, on the right-hand side, P plus 350. And on the left, we're going to have 4 times 485. So we go ahead and my calculator cooperates. 4 times 485, 19.4. And then we're going to subtract 3.5 from both sides. And that gives us P equals 15.9. So now I need to take this answer and use it to answer the question. We're supposed to find the base price of the pizza. And I'm just going to jot down a quick sentence that answers the question. The base price of the pizza is, and we got 15.9. Well, that represents $15.90. And so there's our answer to problem number 1. Problem number 2. A restaurant meal for a group of people cost $110 total. This amount included an 8% tax and a 20% tip, both based on the price of the food. Find the price of the food. And our equation that we had was 1.28f equals 110. Now we want to solve this equation for f. We're going to go ahead and do that by just dividing both sides by 1.28. And that gives us f on the left-hand side. And on the right, we've got 110 divided by 1.28. We get 85.9375. 85.9375. I'm going to round that to the nearest cent. The price of food was $85.94. Okay, on to our next example. On an algebra test, the highest grade was 35 points higher than the lowest grade. The sum of the 2 grades is 151. What was the lowest grade? Our equation that we wrote in the previous video was 2x plus 35 equals 151. I'm going to go ahead and solve this. Subtract 35 from both sides. We get 2x equals 116. Divide both sides by 2. X equals, and 116 divided by 2 is 58. Remember that X stood for the lowest grade, and so the lowest grade was a 58. And our last problem. Joseph works for $8 an hour, Our final equation we had was 5.76x equals 500. And so to get x, we're going to divide by 5.76. And so we've got x equals 500 divided by 5.76. We get 86.805. 5 repeating. Now, when we write this answer, we're asking how many hours must he work. This does represent the number of hours, but we don't want to say that he works 86.805 repeating hours. We're going to go up to the next hour, because if he works less than 86.805, he's not going to make his $500 that he needs. So we're not going to round it to 86. We're instead going to round it to 87. And so Joseph must work 87 hours. And that's it. Now, a couple of, end notes here. First off, when we arrive to the answer that we get from our equation, we've got to take it back to the context, like we did with Joseph here, like we did with the cost of the food earlier. We've got to go back to the context and make sure that our answer fits the context of the problem, and that we round appropriately based on the context. The second thing that I hope you get from this video is that really, once we've taken the information and written the equation, the process of solving these word problems should be pretty simple. All right, see you next time.